Hello, my reading friends. Welcome back. I am riding the wave of just getting off of a community book chat that we did with our guest author, Rachel Fordham, who is the author of The Letter Tree that we read for our community book club book this month. And it was so much fun to talk with her. One of the things that I love about our author interviews is they're very casual, and she gave us so many little interesting tidbits about her writing process behind the book, and it really made the book feel like a whole new experience with just finding out these little details about her writing process. And it was fun, and getting to hang out with everyone in the community is always just an extra exciting part of the process as well. If you're interested in that, I will leave the links down below. Come and join us in the community. It would be amazing to have you there. So I feel like this month has been a bit of an experimental reading month for me in some ways. I feel like I've read a lot and a little, I don't know, just kind of been a little bit chaotic all over the place. I kept talking about how I was wanting it to be fall, and it's been raining, and it's going to be raining for the next 3 days. So I feel like we can officially say that fall is here. And I think some of my reading reflects that. So I will share with you a book that I just got in the mail that I'm very excited about, the books from the library that I have read so far this month, and then 3 titles that I read from Kindle Unlimited. I do also read some nonfiction mixed in there as well, and I don't always share that with you guys, so let me know if that's something that you'd be interested with me sharing in the future. I'm happy to include that in my reading that I've done. So first, the book that I received in the mail is Murder in Highbury. Look at this cover. It is just gorgeous. I'm really excited to hear this book. And the exciting thing is Vanessa Kelly is actually one of our community members, and she's going to be coming and talking to us about this book as well. So very exciting. This is going to be a murder mystery with Emma. I believe this is pitched as a series as well, so I'm really intrigued to see what's going to be next in the series. I'm getting vibes of, like, if you read Claudia Gray's Murder of Mr. Wickham, the books that came after that, I think this is maybe going to be kind of the Emma version of that. I don't know. I have to read it and see. I'm very, very excited. Let's see if we have a blurb. So it says, oh yes. First in a captivating new series, Jane Austen's Emma Knightley entertains a different role in Highbury, going from clever matchmaker to Regency England's shrewdest sleuth. I won't I'll let you read the rest on your own, but very, very excited for this one. I can't wait. I think I'm going to start it this weekend, actually. We'll see where that goes. That is the only book mail that I have to share with you this time. Next, we will dive into the library books that I have. So I think I shared this one in Instagram stories because it was just such a bonkers out there book, and I really enjoyed the wild ride that it was. So this is Angelica Frankenstein Makes Her Match. It's a spinoff, and you'll see kind of a theme here, but this is a spinoff, obviously, on Frankenstein. It is irreverent. It is kooky. I don't know what other words I can use to describe this book, but if you are a fan of Frankenstein, if you like feminist retellings, if you are okay with talk about bodies and bodily functions and everything that comes with that, then this might be the book for you. Definitely check this one out before you go purchase it, because it is a bit out there and different. But I think it's one of those books, if you love it, you love it. I personally loved it. I found it a very fascinating love story, different, unique, and all the feels about this one. So it was high on my list of fall books that I would recommend. Next, first, can we talk about this trend that we're seeing with sprayed edges? Do we love it? Do we hate it? What are our thoughts? I loved it until I read this book, and then I looked down and my hand was turning green. So that was a bit of an issue. But other than that, I was just at Barnes & Noble with my son the other day, and there were so many gorgeous edges. And I was like, okay, clearly this is like a trend that's around for right now, for the foreseeable future. And I'm into it from the gorgeousness of looking at the edges, but not for ink on my hands while I'm reading. This is Beautiful Villain by Rebecca Kenny. I would call this a play on The Great Gatsby meets Twilight. So we have Gatsby as a vampire in this one. It is a little bit out there. This is one of the ones that I went into kind of stretching my reading. I would put it in the YA sort of fantasy vein of things. Obviously, also a love story as well. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't say it was necessarily my favorite of the fall, but I still enjoyed aspects of it. It got a little bit fantasy heavy for me about 2/3 of the way through. That's just my particular reading preferences. You might love it. If you enjoy the story of The Great Gatsby and if you like vampires, check this one out. All right, the next is The Dead Romantics. Now, I saw this book when it came out and I was like, that is not for me. I've seen it on the library, like the end caps sticking out multiple times, still thought it wasn't for me. Then I saw a YouTube video of somebody talking about it, and I don't remember who, but I was like, okay, I feel like I'm sold and I need to check this book out. It might be an interesting fall read, along with the theme of stretching my reading and trying things that I might not normally try. The Dead Romantics was really good. It's a great book. I would recommend it. I would say it was a bit predictable for me as somebody that reads the genre a lot. And there were some plot holes that I felt like didn't wrap up as neatly as I would like them to. But if you're looking to just kind of dip your toe into a paranormal romance, this is a great place to start. It still kind of had that like aspects of paranormalness to it without being like too far into the genre. So it was a great book. If you also like stories that have touches of the characters being in the publishing world, that's a really fun aspect of it. I would still go ahead and recommend this one to you to check out. All right, next for library books, this ended up being a DNF for me. So Shadows of Swanford Abbey, you might have seen me talk about this in my library haul. I was really excited for this one. I DNF'd it pretty quickly in because I felt like I could not get a grasp on where the story was going. And maybe that was just me and the week that I was having and when I was trying to read it. But there were so many characters and I was confused as to who the characters were. And I normally don't feel that in a Julie Clausen book. So if you have read this, let me know. Should I give it another shot? Was I just not getting far enough into the book to give it its proper due? I don't know what was going on. I was very confused and I ended up just DNFing it. All right, that is all for library books and book mail. And then I did have 3 books that I read on my Kindle Unlimited for this month. And in the vein of stretching myself and trying new things, I see everyone on TikTok talking about hockey romances. And so I thought I would give them a try. I picked 2 that I've seen a lot of people talking about, and I had very different feelings on each one. So Icebreaker was the first one. I'll insert an image here so you can see what it looks like. It has sold over 1 million copies. So obviously it is a pretty popular book, and I wanted to see what the hype was all about. It is set in a college setting, so we have much younger people. There was a lot of partying and stuff going on. It's definitely a spicy book, and it just didn't resonate as well with me. The hockey romance part of it was totally fine. She's an ice skater, and he is a hockey player, but that one missed the mark a little bit for me. Then I also read Shutout, which I really loved. And I don't see that one getting as much hype as I think it's due, but it was a great read for me. I really enjoyed it. I was happy with the story. The writing was fantastic. So if you were looking for testing on a hockey romance with a little bit of spice to it, I think that one is a great one to start. Me personally, I really enjoyed that one. And then the last book that I read so far for the month is The Book Swap. This one was so cute. So we have a couple that had met and were friends in high school. Things happen, circumstances happen. And what really was complex about the story is we have their different timelines kind of are happening. And we have this friend in the middle who is passed away, and we're kind of getting these different bits and pieces of aspects of their life and why they're not friends anymore converging into a part in the story. What makes this book a lot of fun is it's very much a play on You've Got Mail via little free library where they are leaving annotations in classics back and forth to each other. There's mentions of Jane Austen in this one. It's just a lot of fun, I think, for book lovers and romance lovers to read. So that has been everything that I have read so far for this month. Like I said, a few business books that I've read also. Let me know if you'd like me to include those. I don't know if that interests you. We all have very different genres that we love to read, and that's what I love about our community is that there are so many different genres represented, but we all have a love for Jane Austen in the end, and that's what really brings us together, and that is the fun of everything. So I would love if there's any recommendations based off of maybe books that I mentioned today or things that you've seen me grab in previous library hauls that you think I should check out as I continue my fall reading. It is my favorite season for getting cozy and just curling up with a book and escaping for an afternoon into a story. And I hope you are having as much fun trying some new genres, experimenting with your reading as I am. I've also, I forgot to mention, been working on a project with some of the other volunteers in the community for a big reading top secret project that we have coming out in a few months. And we've been reading Pride and Prejudice together and discussing it, and that has been a lot of fun as well. So if you love reading Jane Austen and you'd really like to join a community space where we are talking about it and having fun talking about it and sharing our opinions and just really bonding over our love of Austen's characters together, then I think we're about to have a lot of fun in a future endeavor that we're getting ready to launch. So that's been just a big joy in my life lately as well. So I hope you are having fun reading this month as well. It does feel like the months fly by and there's so many books to get to, but I feel like I did myself justice so far this month. So let me know what you've been loving down in the comments, and I hope to see you again soon. Happy reading.